What's up? Welcome to Long Story Short. I'm your host, the Lady Deidre. Now, for those of you not familiar, Long Story Short is a live storytelling experience infused with some live music. Now, it's been quite a journey, and I say this because we finally made it to our 1-year anniversary. That's right. Welcome to the All-Star Anniversary edition of Long Story Short. We're boasting the theme Chronicles, comedy, creativity, and catastrophe. We've brought back some of our very special guest storytellers by popular demand, of course, and we also got the live music, so you want to stick around for that. We're particularly proud of this edition because part proceeds will be going towards the SOS Children's Village. Now, folks, we've got to take a quick step back to how it all began. Let's meet the catalyst and the mastermind.
Greetings, I'm Kevin Wallen, the One Love Rebellion, and the catalyst of Long Story Short. The idea for Long Story Short came out of a trip I had to Harvard. I had an ongoing relationship with Harvard for many years, and so as a result, each year I would have to go up and visit with the Berkman Center for Internet and Society that was located at the law school. And the last time I was there, I remember that there was an event that they wanted to take me to, and it was a storytelling event. And so pretty much what it was just like a group of people that would come up on stage. They would get a few minutes to tell a story. There would be a guy that was sitting there with one of the big violin looking thing, what you call it, stood there with one of those big things, and whenever it is that you run over your story, you started with a slow, and then the longer you went is the harder, the more annoying it got. And but I loved the idea, but the first time I saw it, the only thing I could think of was just like as a youth growing up, just the man that might tell story in the bars, the man that might tell story upon the corner. All I could think of was just like how amazing Jamaican storytellers, how amazing of storytellers we were. And this would be the perfect platform to kind of bring some formality to it.
Long story short, in 2015 Kevin shared the idea with me and my mind was blown. I started working on it immediately. In 2019, we staged the first edition of Long Story Short on Miss Lou's 100th birthday. But we didn't do it by ourselves. There's a dream team that brought Long Story Short to life. I call them the Stories. Let's meet the Stories.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Baker and I am the show coordinator for Long Story Short. Why did I join the team? Last year when Daniel Edwards called me about an event called Long Story Short, I instantly got very, very excited. He actually called to get somebody to host the show and started discussing what it was about. And I got very excited because not only was it serendipitous because it was Miss Lou's birthday and she's 2 days before me, so we're both Virgo girls. It was her 100th birthday. So it was just perfect timing for the event, and Long Story Short is really about each person telling their story. So we have a tagline that says everybody has a story, what's yours? My gosh, that's an unfair question. There's been so many. If I think of just the last segment, the entrepreneurial spirit, I think of Mars Jackson, Randy. If I think of comedy, oh my gosh, Dufton Shepherd, his segment was just hilarious. If I think of overcoming personal tragedy or trauma, Joy Kelly. And it was ironic because it was right there on Grosvenor Terrace, and that was my old stomping ground where I grew up. Everybody, every story is just great. It's really unfair to say who was my favorite, and I think there's still more to come. So.
Love and respect, this is Biko, Jermaine Biko Thomas, affectionately known as Biko, the Universal Ear, and I'm the audio engineer for Long Story Short. It started out as one morning waking up early and seeing Daniel Edwards on TV talking about his brand Total 180, and he was a sharp, well-dressed, well-spoken individual, and the things he had to say was very, very potent. And then it ended up, I had a show the same night, Everflow show, Start From The Sky, Big Up Everflow, and I saw him there, and he ended up reaching out to me saying that he had an idea that he wanted to execute if he knew anybody who does sound and production and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I mean that me do, that you see me at Everflow show I do, you know? And yeah, the rest is easy. I see it lengthening, increasing in abundance and attendance, and also just more perspectives, because that's what really Long Story Short is about to me. People sharing perspectives, condensing aspects of their life, experiences, lessons, blessings, emotions, feelings, frequency into short stories. So I just want the team to stay grounded, stay focused on what we have to do, and the sky is not even the limit. The sky is the start, as Bridget would have said.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Roden-Haynes and I'm the General Manager of 180 Events. Okay, why did I join the team? I had no choice. Daniel Edwards is my business partner and is also my mentor, so I'm pretty much prepared to follow him over the cliff. Where do I see Long Story Short going? The sky is the limit for Long Story Short. It's basically birthed out of the idea that we have to resurrect oral tradition from our culture. So that in itself is just enough for me. We're African people, we're Caribbean people, our history is rich, and this is really what we want to showcase to the world.
Hi, I'm Asha Wilby, Long Story Short hostess. Well, to be honest, I thought it was a great opportunity to meet new people, especially since I'm always all about history and heritage, and to have your own history to be put out there. I just thought that was a great idea. Something like Miss Lou. Well, the first time I went to Long Story Short, I actually only saw a few persons, but I like Cheryl about her name, the history of her name, and why it was not with a S but yet a C. Yes, I thought that was very interesting about her grandmother.
Hey guys, my name is Jermaine Watson. It's on the shirt, and I'm the Long Story Short photographer. Honestly, a really cool guy who started it asked me to be on the team, and I always loved the concept. It reminded me of a Comedy Central Presents. They have a comedic type show, and I love that concept, and that's what he was bringing here, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity. So the time that I went, I heard Tanya Stevens speak and perform, and I was blown away.
I'm back! Alright, so now you've heard the stories behind the stories. So it's time to get to the stories. It's showtime, folks. So what you're about to witness, we've brought back some of our favorite storytellers, right? So we are going to be seeing them, and of course by popular demand, but we've also added a sweetener. We have some guest storytellers you've never heard from before, and it's all for you. We ready? Decades upon decades in the game. We're talking about a veteran broadcaster, a veteran actress. Now, she actually shared with us the last time she came to Long Story Short about her nightly struggles with, of course, callers varying from perverts to suicidal persons. Yeah, it was quite an experience. We can't wait to hear what she has to share this time. This is Rosie Murray.
This is Rosie Murray, master storyteller. So the ability to be able to talk about everyday incidents in a form that will actually have people locked in is not an easy task. But when I really knew was when I attended St. Hugh's High School as a virgin. I used to make up some torrid sex stories that even one of my schoolmates told me that on our honeymoon night I was in her bedroom. That's how I knew that I was a master storyteller.
Oh, let me tell you something. From your woman and you work on air at night, you're going to get some calls that go like this. Rosie Murray, may I listen to you on radio, I walk all the draws you have on.
Let me be very honest about this. You know that everybody have a story, but you see, to come to a place where people from different walks of life can actually come and share in each other's stories. You never know some of the story them that come out to the very proper people that you run into each and every day. That is it, the surprise. Hey, congratulations. Just keep doing what you're doing, because not many people get this platform to tell their stories and to share with others. See, I'll know me wait for the dog for join me. The dog not tell him story. Cut. This is one of the, let's just say, one of the ideas that will just grow and get bigger and bigger until, who knows it, maybe they're going to have a section in the Oscars at some point for a Long Story Short. Who knows? Yeah? Think it into being. Long story short, creativity, comedy, Corona Chronicles, and catastrophe. So you see this whole pandemic thing, it make you have to get creative. It's not a normal time, you know. So back in the days when I did lockdown St. Catherine, I decided that I was going to try get into the senior citizens part of the thing. So instead of wearing skinny jeans and thing, you know, I put on one big frock and me put on one scarf for show the little grey hair and thing. Me over here, this lady know everybody I wonder how them are gonna survive, them relatives sick and all of that. Here is this miss, this very proper lady on the phone, you know, talking to her friends. And this is how the conversation go. Darling, no man, no, this pandemic thing is a total madness, you know. No, the helper didn't turn up because she's one of the St. Cathy people. Yeah, listen to me. The pool is turning green and the whole goddamn place has become a forest because the gardener can't come as yet. And listen now, I have to be cooking because the damn hobby in him just itch up inside of the house with this damn work from home business. Listen to me. I have a bitch burn on my hand now because I had to be frying fish for him. No, sir. Listen, girl, I can't tell the last day I've had a bottle of wine with you girls. The wine done and all of the leftovers from all of the back of the fridge. It used up because of these damn ignorant St. Cathy people. I mean, the government try, you know. They try to educate these people. But when you talk to them, young or old, they're so damn ignorant. The damn St. Cathy people. Child, if you see my fingernails, the nails them gone, all of the wigs have to come out because the hair is a mess. And let me tell you something. The only thing that I really like about this whole COVID thing is the social distancing. Yes, because the body don't come and bounce up and rub up on me and all of that. But seriously though, I miss those salmon dinners, you know, from that place in New Kingston. Good God of mercy. No, child, they have to do something about this thing because guess what? The tush don't get shaved in 6 as the waxing. The waxing, nothing don't go on in about 6 weeks. It's a good thing I can't go and see the toy boy. Listen to me. They have to find a vaccine or something because the only way I can see my therapist is by Zoom. Long story short.
Imagine not knowing a single relative. But wait, imagine not knowing your own date of birth. Realty. But then imagine being known as the Caribbean's #1 menswear designer. This is Sir Carlton Brown.
This is Carlton Brown, master storyteller. You know, funny, that came to me when I started talking to, you know, high school students, you know, junior high students, contestants from Mission Catwalk over the years. So that's really when it hit me, you know, just telling a story helps. Over time watching it, I've just seen where, you know, I mean, you get inspiration from others in many different fields, in many different areas and aspects of life. First of all, I must say congrats on that 1 year anniversary. But I think at the same time is that finding the right persons, you know, because nothing like a good story. So just find the right persons to give you that, you know, the very good story.
I say if you know a family, your mother, your father, your brother, your uncle, your sister, your family member. If you know any one of them, let's be honest, sit down. No, honest. Good. So you're standing, right? You're the only one standing.
Yes, sir.
You understand the question?
Yes, sir.
Come up here. So I guess I'm not alone in this world. The reason I ask a question like that is because I don't know my mother, I don't know my father, I don't know nobody. I grew up in this foster care system, and there's a reason I ask a question that way. Right? And I say that to say this is that the mere fact that you know a family member, you're lucky.
Long story short, my journey began in foster care. Foster care for me was more than a life journey. It also became a lesson in every way, shape, and form. Because who I am today, that environment basically, you know, bring me to where I am today. I started out that journey by, you know, at 7 around a sewing machine. Today I'm still around a sewing machine. And as a young man, I mean, we all have a dream, we all have our visions, and you know, we dream of a lot. Some come true, some don't, but we still strive to reach there. So just being in foster care and you know, being around sewing machines and stuff, that's how I became a tailor and today fashion designer. From there, you know, not knowing your parents, I mean, to this day I don't know who they are, I don't know them, I've never seen them, and at this point I care zero, honestly. It's amazing I should say this, because I know a lot of my friends, you know, you talk about getting their passport when they were 2 and 3 and 5. I got mine when I was 21. You know what I mean? And that's the first time I could get a passport, because that's the time I got what is called a birth certificate. If I should show my birth certificate, it's like, you know when you buy a stack of printing paper for your photocopy machine, and you hold that up, you only see 3 lines. That's it. That's my birth certificate to this day. And I don't want to change it. No, I don't want to look for anybody. I don't want to keep it as it is. And I started out at St. Andrew's Coskerk United Church. They already had a sewing program there as well. So church was a big part of my development, you know. And then I went to, you know, Edie Dalton James, and then I went to Menla Fashion, and then I started, you know, after going to, you know, doing a short stint at UTech, then to Garmex. But the key thing to that is that community plays a big role for me, because even just by being in the community out of Rockford, East Kingston out of Rockford, right in front of the police station, that's where I was. That's where I grew up, you know. And the lady who raised me, her son is a sportswear designer. His friend is a tailor. Theme Brethren is a tailor. And then she's a dressmaker. You know what I mean? So I was in that every single day of my life. So it was I guess it was a natural progression for me to, you know, be a part of that. And that's also in foster care as well, because that's the home I grew up in. I learned tailoring from Rani. I learned the sportswear aspect from Rani as well, because I told Rani, I have tailor Rani. You know what I mean? And then Rani Bridget, who's also Wiggles, you know, I learned from him as well. And Miss Martha Wallace, who raised me, I learned dressmaking from that aspect. You know what I mean? So it's all of that combined, you know, that brings, you know, Carlton Brown today. But that in itself, you know what I mean, was just, you know, just a journey of, you know, wanting, you live next door, but you're so next door. You know what I mean? You live at your house, but you're so next door, that kind of stuff. And that's what happened for me. You know what I mean? So I never own a machine. I just, you know, use Rani one up next door. I use go up the road. I use Rani one up the road. And that's what it was for me. You know what I mean? Until you start, you know, you start do your thing, and then, you know, you buy a first one singer, and you just go through. But, you know, that for me was just the lesson right there. And I mean, to this day, I hold that special. You know, I hold that part of my development special to me. You know what I mean? And I will never, ever, ever let it go. Because every time I do something, you know, I remember Taylor Rani, I remember Rani, I remember Mommy. You know what I mean? And that's how it is, you know. So that part of my development in foster care, I will never, ever let that go. But I think one of the big things for me was when I got a call from Kenny Linton for Mission Catwalk. You know, my first TV appearance, to be honest with you, was with Nova McDonald White. You know, just a little, you know, 2-week series something, you know, in terms of, you know, how to wear a suit, that kind of stuff. But, you know, it was just like 2 weeks, just a little special of 2 weeks, you know. And then, you know, 2 years after that, you know, after I did LG Fashion Week in Toronto, and it was 2 years after that, you know, I got a call for Mission Catwalk, you know what I mean? And I never looked back since, you know. And that Mission Catwalk in itself helped in terms of putting me out there, in terms of, you know, people knowing me, getting to understand exactly who I am, what I'm about, you know what I mean? And I've met a lot of upcoming designers along the way. It's funny, because even with COVID at this point, what COVID did for me was taught me that, the lesson I learned from COVID, to be honest, is that that's when you realize who has a passion for it, who loves it, or who just like it. You know what I mean? With COVID, I reached, it was a point where I had to just put fabrics together, go to clients, right? Because clients not coming to you. You know what I mean? Now, if I never have a passion for that and wanting money, because let's be real, You know what I mean? And wanting money to, to survive in that rough couple months of, what was happening. You have to go out there and you have to seek it. You know what I mean? So for me to, put fabrics together, go to different offices to some of my corporate clients and stuff, and take measurements right there. At the same time protect yourself and all these things. You have to get the work done. So this is not something to you sit back and lay back for one to come to. You have to go get it. And that's what they taught me. Even though I used to go get it myself, but you know what I mean, it basically opened up your eyes to a whole new world and what the world is going to be as from now on. But in everything, for me, you have to have a love for what you do. But as I said before, most important, you have to have a passion. If you don't have a passion, it don't make some sense. You know what I mean? Because passion never leaves. It never leaves. You know what I mean? And I've known quite a few persons who, there's a young man I know, went to school a dentist because his mother a dentist, father, everybody a dentist. And at the end of the day, when him graduate with all kind of honors and everything, him gone into farming. Because that's really his passion. You know what I mean? You want him miserable, take him out of farm or take him out of the field. You can't do that. So you have to follow your passion. You follow your passion, you follow your dream, you can't go wrong. You know what I mean? But overall, my journey is just from foster care and wanting to do better, not only for myself, but for my family and other young designers who are coming up.
This story is brought to you by Blue Dot Research, Data, Insights.
All right, so last time we heard from this young lady, she had us in stitches. Believe me, she's a multifaceted businesswoman, but trust me, she can tell a story. So right now, let's take a listen to Sarah Stanford.
Hi, I'm Sarah Stanford, Master Storyteller and CEO of Bliss Bridal Boutique. I guess if you want to call me a Master Storyteller, the first time I recognized that was the first time I did Long Story Short. Because you guys reached out to me on Instagram and I said, why do you guys want me to tell a story? But okay, I'll find a story. And I thought about it and I remembered this incident and I put it together and I practiced it a little bit, I'm not going to lie. And when I got up on the Long Story Short stage and started telling it, and people were laughing and responding, and I was like, wait a minute, my story is actually good and people really enjoyed it. So I think that was definitely the first time that I recognized that I was a master storyteller.
And oh so gently leans over to me, and oh so politely, softly whispers in my ear and says, Sarah, your skirt split up all the way to your body. God is my...
Long story short, one of my favorite things is the fact that the people that are telling stories, the majority of them are not professional speakers. They're just the average people in different genres of life just telling stories. Some of them are motivational, some of them are funny, some of them are business oriented, and it's just nice to have a community where you can sit down, relax in a very nice social environment and just listen to other people's stories, because I think sometimes we don't recognize how similar we are more than we are different. I think the message would be thank you. Thank you for creating a platform where, like I said before, we can come together and tell our stories and really come together as a community to see that we're more alike than we are different. And just keep up the good work. So, long story short, this whole global pandemic that we have now affectionately come to know as COVID-19 has turned me into what I consider the true Jamaican. Because since this whole thing started, I swear I have like 5 different jobs, right? The first one is, as you all know, I'm the owner of Bliss Bridal Boutique and I rent and sell wedding dresses. But since COVID, I've become a juggler. I have become a motivational speaker, a professional cook, and an author. So the juggling part, I know it sounds strange, but every morning when I sit down and get ready to have my coffee and I look on my phone and I open my bank account, all I'm doing is trying to figure out how to juggle the little money that I have in my bank account to see who I can pay this week and who have to wait till next month, right? Because like I said, I own a bridal store. So when bro got locked down the country, what happened to me? My business took a nose dive. In the first week, I think, I had no less than about 65 weddings either cancel or postpone. And those were weddings that were only happening in March, April, and some in May. That didn't include the weddings that I had booked for the rest of the year, because, you know, we didn't think it was gonna last as long, but now everything is continuing to being postponed and canceled. So I have to juggle everything. So separate apart from juggling, I become a motivational speaker. Now, I'm only an audience of one, which is me, right? But every morning after I look at my bank account, I have to figure out in my mind, okay, Sarah, think about it. This is bad, but it's not that bad. You've been through worse and you got through it. So guess what? You will go through this and you will come out on the other side. Yeah, and I have to tell myself that every day just to keep myself going and not get bogged down. Because other than that, I'd be sitting down binge watching How to Get Away with Murder on Netflix and Ozark and not really being productive at all. So that was job number 2. So now we're on job number 3. I said professional cook, but no one's paying me. So I guess I can't use the title of professional. But I have a question for you. Have you ever tried chicken soup with pigtail? Don't worry, I'll wait. Or stewed chicken and pigtail. I'm here to tell you that you can put pigtail in anything. The only thing you probably can't put pigtail in is curry goat. Trust me, I've done the research. Don't try it. But other than that, you're good, right? I mean, I even woke up one morning at about 5 o'clock and baked banana bread. I've never baked banana bread a day in my life, right? So there's juggling, there's motivational, there's all the cooking. And then after I think maybe the first couple of weeks, I sat down and I said to myself, Self, you have to figure out something. So I took some time and thought to myself, Sarah, what do you know? What do you know for sure that you would be able to monetize? And I said, well, I know wedding dresses. Nobody can critique that. I know women and I know weddings. So I decided I was gonna write a book. I got my laptop, I sat at my dining room table, and for 3 days straight, I didn't get up. And at the end, I had a book. It was an ebook, 75 pages, and it's called The Jamaican Bride's Ultimate Guide to Wedding Planning. So when I was done with that, I said, okay, well, I need to find somewhere to sell it. So I said, babe, my husband, Brian, I said, I need a website. He said, no problem. So he built me a website. And then I said, well, I can't just sell one book on a website. I have to do more. So then I created an online service called Yoba, Your Online Bridal Assistant, to help all these brides figure out what to do next in planning their weddings that we know was going to be impacted by COVID. And then I also added my styling services. So I took this COVID-19, this pandemic, as an opportunity to try and do something more with what I know. And so what I'd say to everyone who might be wondering or thinking about it is take some time to yourself. Go into a quiet space and think about, what do I know? What do I know better than anybody else? What do I know that everybody else doesn't know? Or what do I know that not only do I know better, but that I can execute better than anybody else? When you figure that out, then you will start on the path to dig yourself out of what is happening now. So I leave you with this. Just think about what you know and monetize it.
Alright, you know you started doing it with me doing now. No joke, you know you did. This next storyteller, he's actually a dub poet, he's actually a musician, he's actually an actor, and so much more. The last time he came on The Experience, that is Long Story Short. By the way, stick a pin, just to let you know, if you weren't in the know, Long Story Short actually had an IG edition, you know, during the whole something more going on. We're not saying its name because we're not getting energy, you understand? But we actually had the IG edition, and he came and shared a story. And this is how we know he's our brethren, because what he decided to share was a little intimate and not in the way you're thinking. The gentleman actually let go on himself. Not number one. Do the math. Beat your chest, carry. Okay. This is Evie Everaldo Query.
Yes, greetings. one and all. This is Everaldo Evie Creary. And I'm a master storyteller. Boy, you want to see? I just know you make me realize that he's a master storyteller still. But I know what you mean. Maybe when I was in high school, maybe when I started doing the JCVC speech, you know, and drama festivals, when I had to dub poems and all these things, you know, every piece of art, every creative piece of art is really a story being mirrored or told by the creator itself. So it's all a story for me. My life is your story. My favorite thing about Long Story Short, maybe it's not even a thing, maybe there's a few things. Firstly, the idea. I love the idea. It's a good idea. It's a great idea. Next, just the nostalgic nature of it, because I was born in the 80s, so 80s babies will know about Ring Ding from Miss Lou. You know, Miss Lou is awesome storyteller. You know what I mean? And even deeper than that, like historically or you know, our history as our ancestors used to practice storytelling as the only means to pass down traditions and values and morals in the society. So storytelling is very important. I love this, you know, and I get to tell my dude the stories. I mean, that's, well, I mean, there's no limit. So I see Long Story Short going as far as, you know, even Netflix. I mean, these stories are really good. Compile them to be Netflix. I give this advice to everybody, including myself. It's just consistency. You know what I mean? Non-stop. Just do it non-stop. Don't stop. Make 10 years from now, you ask me this question again. Long story short, I'll tell you about when I became a deacon, see, in the church. Yeah, didn't know that, see. So I go to this church in a Mountain View, 58 Mountain View, Jark Lane, Summer grew up. Big up yourself, I love that church there. Zion Episcopal Baptist Church, you see me? So now I'm going to church all my life now. I'm going to fast forward to this moment. If you know young people fellowship, see, but they are young people fellowship, see. I am the president of young people fellowship, but that was surprising to me because my attendance rate was poor because I was missing fellowship for rehearsals at Exit with Kenny Salmon and the whole crew. Anyways, doing my theater thing and the arts. So I was getting more, personally myself, more disconnect from the church because, you know, I had the sociology in a high school, so I learned about Marxist theory, you know, religion, manipulate people, but just I read more and I expose myself and I question things, you see me I say? So me in a church and I get a little distance. And then they had a white people, young people fellowship the night and I go on easy. And then we just hear everybody getting a spirit. No, you're not supposed to get in a spirit on the Friday night young people fellowship because it's about playing games and being a little secular, a little less Christian, you know what I mean? Go freedom. Not tonight. But anyway, tonight, everybody in a spirit. And my godfather is the bishop. So my godfather, when him get in a spirit, it's serious. So we get in a spirit, we do the regular thing, circle the message table, pray, and now it's time for him reveal what the spirit I lead him to say. See? I'm there, I go on, you know, be quiet because I was always a quiet youth in a church. I can't speak in a tongues, I never get in a spirit yet. I play the drum, I always come first in a Sunday school, sing for the choir. Easy thing. Now, place quiet time and talk, and then him say, the Holy Spirit said unto me, Everaldo Creary, you are a deacon. What? I was like, shit, deacon. That means that they might put me more in the offices, you know, big brother and sisters, you know, more in the offices. When me and ponder more for I say, yo, I'm gonna make a look exit. You see me? I say, no, when them say, yo, you're gonna be a deacon, I was like, throwing a back at me, I said, the Holy Spirit I talk to them, you know. So then this Holy Spirit must can say, yo, to even my godfather, say, yo, you see that brother, yeah? He must smoke some weed around the corner. No, no, not even that. God, 6 months. No. It's when them announce say, yo, time for your audience. I say, me no want God strike me, you know. But something now make me say nothing. But just a follow through with the motions, see me. Because I love everybody in the church. I'm growing up, so it's like it'd be disappointing to disappoint them. So anyway, I talk about 7 Bible on my head. Sword like the queen at night me. Body of prayer. Nothing. It's alright, fine. Follow through. I'm ordained, I'm a deacon, get my certificate, all them things. Now, me used to have a confidant in one of the pastor's wife. She did young, so she phoned me and she said, Evie, I know what I want. I know you're not ready. Tell them you're not ready. Alright, I did that upon my yard and I say, Jano, this is like a catastrophe because I am about to leave some people who love me and think I'm really getting deeper in the church thing. But them don't understand what was happening. I was having a transition, as a spiritual transition. It was an awakening into my history and my people, and I just want to be curious now. I just want to ask questions. Christianity don't really afford you that. I'm going to say, alright, should I take her advice and just undo my resignation letter? And guess what? Join us next time on Long Story Short for the... Alright. You know, my decision was not to resign. I still left, but I didn't resign. Because when I analyze the process, the way our revival church work, they do nothing of self. So therefore, if God I go give me a blessing through certain people, why should I use my mind and negative things to just try and denounce the office? It's not people giving me the office, it's just an energy. So then I put it on a broader thing. Maybe I am designed to be a minister, but not in the roof of the church with the typical approach. And when I crack that, I just say, alright, I'm now resign, I'm just going to leave. And forever be a deacon because, you know, shine bright like a beacon. I don't know. It's not a man ordained me. So, we just take it. No, after so many years, I mean, if they're listening, I love you guys at church. I just want them and everybody to know that. It's almost like it was a deeper awakening for me to just step outside of the roof of the church and just move a little bit more real with people, because even my deepest studying of history, black people invented so many things on this earth that even religion that human beings are experiencing was invented by us. They only manipulate our story, you know, to teach them white supremacist the stuff, give it back to it. And then we just do it in a misunderstanding kind of level and then hate the very things that are us. But anyways, anytime you see me on the road, please address me as Deacon Evie.
Want One of the best things about Long Story Short is its commitment to sharing some of Jamaica's best-kept musical secrets. Let's take a look at some of its best performances of the past year.
Oh, my, I'm feeling high. My money's gone. I'm all alone. So I do away. The world keeps turning. Oh, what a day. What a day, what a day. Peace and blessings manifest with every lesson learned. If your knowledge were your wealth, then it would be well earned. If we were made in His image, then call us by our names. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. Oh, on and on and on and on. My cipher keeps moving like a rolling stone. On and on and on and on. All night till the break of dawn. Ooh, on and on and on and on. My cipher keeps moving like a rolling stone. On and on and on and on. Fresh and clean, fresh and clean. Fresh and clean, fresh and clean. See me when I step on the scene, that be fresh. You so blessed and free. I'm a rebel when I step on the scene. Oh, I'm so fresh and clean from my open my eyes. Give thanks to the Most High. Give thanks, giving thanks for life. No stress in my sight. So when them come around, them can't hold you down. Them can't kill you with no attack. Whoa, try your best in my life, no stress. It's a whole of ironies. You got to be a rebel. Keep your mind right, meditate for good measure. Read the Psalms and days to chase away the devil. Keep your heart clean so your days can be better. You got to be a rebel. Yeah, you have to live on a rebel. Oh, you got to be a go-getter if you really want to take it to another level. Oh, what? We're fresh and clean, fresh and clean. Grab not terrace. We're fresh and clean, fresh and clean. Simple when I step on the scene. Oh, I'm so blessed and free. I'm a rebel when I step on the scene.
Wow! Me there, thanks to Jah, full of confidence. Big dreams of money for ya, me plans for them. Yeah man, go for the cheddar, confident, confident, confident. Thank Jah, me there, thank you Jah. You wait a boy and give them donkey lens. Confident, confident, confident. Oh, so
Said if we never get a chance to be together, go with Jah. Thank you, I love you. Woman said, it is a pity you already have a wife. I made enough money in my life. Road boy, it is a pity. It is such a pity. You already have a wife. I'm here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 money in my life. I would like one of these mornings to wake up and find your face on a pillow.
Up next, we've got a larger-than-life personality. We're talking about a selector turned storyteller. Happens to be the #1 storyteller in Jamaica, so it goes without saying Long Story Short had to have him as our special guest storyteller. Now, this gentleman gained a whole new level of popularity with the web series Talk Your Mind. Let's hear him talk his mind. We're introducing to you Richie Feelings.
This is Richie Feelings, master storyteller. I talk a crocus bag, I think it's 17 scandal bag. A master of storytelling. You know, say, we grow with the granny, you know, so we always hear story about Duppy story and Brother Tukuma and Bigger and Trinity and Skinny and Little. See? So it's like from Muluku we always have that. I think about we always make up some stories and make it true to the people. The joy it brings on people's face.
when you see people smile, like them can't believe like, yo, I lie, the man wicked and lie, man. Like, you know, if you see the expression from people's face, that is a joy to me. Keep up the good work. Long story short, happy anniversary. Keep on putting smiles on people's face. Keep on doing what you're doing. All girls, hold tight. All man, stay so.
Here. Next on stage, Danny English and Eggnog. Remember the hypest thing them youth can remember 35 lane and Rasta down and Maxfield, you know, Eggnog and Danny English, this in the youth are the cleanest thing them. Rap for a Honda thing, turn up. Yeah, here. Don't you know I know? The whole place, whoa! Every little picnic, place and the whole place shot. Man goes around on. Miss Lou, throw your hands up. I'm ready to roll. I wanna see that waistline. Wine, Miss Lou, and Miss Lou, me for wine. Miss Lou, ball out. I want this done. So, what was it? Miss Lou, if you're gonna give your bun, and you want to give your man some, and the whole place a bus, yo, wanna meet me at the party, and the whole crowd place are singing. Yo, the place are done in a youth, and Mr. Station and shake already nice minister of everybody, minister of society, minister of property, minister of everything. Yo, minister of zinc and mining, everything that you Minister of everything, minister of plywood, minister of toilet paper, minister of everything. Yo, minister of bull and flour, everything. Bull and flour. What minister? See, every minister there, yo? Right minister down there. Yo, right minister never go say. Yo, whole place there I go on now, Marco. And them go somebody now and say, hey, you know, some guy diss Miss Lou. Miss Lou say nobody don't diss me. Me, come on, nobody can listen. Miss Lou, this one is bigger than you. You're the superstar. Ding, 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 ding. That English said, from it ever bow. Let me see the underbody here right so now. Hey, Miss Lou, go get my gun now. Miss Lou, jump down. Miss Lou, jump down.
Long story short, so enough of them artists, enough of the song them what them a sing, I tell you why, them are wicked. Because them are going something and not tell you no. Remember Natural Black is a Rasta come from Guyana and he come to Jamaica do a little piece of money. Remember him come here to come voice and bus and go and all kind of thing. But he find himself up a Pally Royal. When he reach back at Arrows, and the man them a say, where you get girl from Natural, you know? Me no remember how me get the loving from, but it nice, it nice, it nice. Every night and day, sing and pray and get in a spirit. Cause remember Bev good body. Remember, you know, he go back up there again. Nah, no money, cause money run out. He came to Bev now, he want money. Bev say, move a little dirty dread nastiness and go for right. I say, go trim and go back to your island. If you like a summer work, go. Give me money, I leave me alone. He go back to his studio, you know. I met this girl the other day and when I check her, she was far from reality. I never knew that before I met her. She was far, I'm ball out. In ball out when Beverly keep chip. In ball.
So this storyteller, a definite stalwart in the entertainment and music industry in particular. This gentleman, the last time he came on, let me tell you, he decided to share with us why getting on a bus changed his life forever. You're going to want to hear his next story. Let's take a listen.
This is Mikey Bennett, master storyteller, songwriting coach, producer, songwriter, and a few other things. Yeah, I realized I was a master storyteller when I realized how people reacted to even the songs I was writing and the kind of details in songs that came natural to me. I mean, how I was able to capture scenes and, you know, impressions and bring back memories and even exploit them. I mean, amplify them and things. But I realized that based on the reaction and how people always wanted me to repeat stories about situations that had happened, that love my version of it. You know? So I realized that I had a gift in storytelling.
Actually came off the bus and I said to myself, but if I come off this bus, I can't go to Jammy's today. And I don't want to start off this relationship by the man figure, say, boy, I'm not serious. and a voice said, jump back on the bus. Jump back on the bus, and it's the best decision I've ever made in my life.
My favorite thing about Long Story Short is, apart from the interesting stories from these interesting people, is that as an entertainer myself, it is not a lot of places I can go and get entertained in a relaxed mode, and you don't feel like you're part of the whole entertainment industry. I always find that when you hear stories that told about a period that you're involved in, and you realize that that was taking place while you were not even unaware, it brings back, it comes to at me with a particular force. Wow, I know this person a long time and I didn't know them had that particular experience. It is really, really cool. First thing, I'd like to congratulate the Long Story Short team for having, gone through it and entertained us for such a long time. And I am hoping that you continue. I mean, you might have to tweak some things based on experience. And usually, those of us in business know how, about resetting and wheeling and coming again. But don't give up, don't stop, because there are a number of us who depending on this kind of outlet, this kind of, relaxed vibe. Long story short, the late great Tootsie Bird came to the studio, Grafton studio, to book some time. Wanted about a couple of days, all day. The first day I had a client who had already booked the time, so I said, listen, you cannot get below all day today, you can have to stop by 6 o'clock. He said, all right, cool. About 8 o'clock I got a call from the client who was supposed to come in and say, Mr. B, I can't work. I said, what happened? Smoke, pure smoking in the studio. Now when I hear smoking in the studio, I just sign an alarm, I think in fire. So I run down to the studio. And of course, when I got to the studio, there was a lot of smoking at the studio. Whole heap of smoking at the studio. Apparently, Toots had been working and smoking in the studio. And the young musician that she had, everybody was inside giggling and things like them have a contact guy. So Toots come the next day and I said, I'm going to pay me. And I said, boss, my problem is, it's going to take me, when you finish work, it's going to take me one whole day to clean out the studio, air it out because so and so and so. Him said, all right. And give me the money. But I said, you give me too much. Him said, no, one day is for clean out the studio. And I'll never forget that. In other words, I cannot do it without smoking. And I thought that was so cool. The other great story for me is I grew up having Bob Andy as an idol. His songwriting genius is probably just so obvious to everybody. So I was doing some work for Gussie Clark and wrote this song with him, said, for Bob Andy. So Gussie picked me up the night and said, we're going up to the studio where, to introduce the song to Bob Andy. So I was there playing the song for Bob Andy, like the demo that I had done. And Bob Andy said, who write this tune here? And Gussie said, this youth here. Called me over and said, youth, I don't normally sing people's song, but this one I bad. I mean, you must understand the trepidation I was getting when him called me over, because I figured I must have criticized the song and all of that. Only to have this great songwriter say, listen, this song is bad. Fast forward a couple of years and a couple of wonderful, interactions with Bob. Perry Hensel, who had, written and done Harder They Come, called me one day and said, listen, there had been another movie that they had done and they had lost the tapes and they had found the tapes now, but there was a song from the original thing that them did that they lost. They had found all but one of the tapes. And I was wondering if I could write a song and do a song to replace that song that was missing. I think it was a song by Peter Tosh. And I said, well, I was so excited about it, and I was thinking. I said, listen, Bob Andy is the perfect person to do the song. So I called Bob Andy, and both of us got excited, and we wrote what we considered, and everybody considered, the perfect song for this particular scene. The sad part of the story is that Perry succumbed to cancer before we could have, actually done it. But just going through that period with Bob Andy as a co-writer, and doing a demo and thing, it's almost like I was living in the past with these giants. And the songs that we were going up, not against, but we're going to be a part of the compilation, were songs that had been written 20 years before and sung by some of the legends. So there was this intense pressure to live up to this thing. And when we brought the first demo to Perry, he was so excited about it. I mean, and that is a memory I'll keep forever. In other words, we had passed the test. I mean, I had passed the test because Bob them don't pass test long time. So these are some of the things that these are some of the treasures that I keep, as a story. And these are the kind of things that I tell my young songwriters when I'm talking to them about songwriting and what it means to be part of this wonderful game. So I'm happy to share this story with you.
This queen and storyteller, boy, let me tell you, the last time she came on Long Story Short, whoo, that one hit to the core. She actually shared an experience about being kidnapped. Now, many people can't say they identify with that, but believe me, she pulled us all in that night, and we're definitely looking forward to hearing what she has to share with us. She's a radio personality. It's all about cool. This is Joy Kelly.
This story was brought to you by Bulwark Insurance Agent. Insurance made easy.
Hi, this is Joy Kelly, master storyteller. 5 minutes ago, when Daniel told me that I was. Basically, that's it. Well, my favorite thing about Long Story Short is the connection, because all of us have a story to tell. And for the stories that each of us have, it has a connecting point with other people. So it's kind of like weaving together the threads of a story, and they all connect with other people who share some threads or who are inspired by different threads that we have in ours. All right, so for me, the sky's the limit, because Long Story Short is connecting people and each of us. So I believe that for each person born on the planet, they're born with a solution for a particular problem. And with Long Story Short, we get to hear the stories of other people. We get to connect, we get to come up with solutions for some of the problems that we have, and to feel not so alone. So I think that in these times, things that connect us are extremely powerful. And Long Story Short is definitely that. So my message to Long Story Short is going to be to keep pushing. Because there are challenges and there will be more challenges, but the goal and the focus and the connections are critically important. So my suggestion, my tip, if you would, is to just press along, saints.
Now, being here for me is a victory today. Being here for me is an incredibly special thing. Not just because I used to work here, or rather intern here way back in the dawn of time when dinosaurs roamed the earth, but also because on December 30th in 2001, I was kidnapped.
So long story short, 2020 has been an incredible year. A record-breaking year, but not like Usain Bolt where everybody's happy, in an awful way. An unprecedented number of fires in Los Angeles. They're looking like futuristic dystopian movies where the end of the world has already happened. We've also been faced with incredible activity in the hurricane season. Not only have we exhausted every 26 letter in the alphabet, we're now moving on to the Greek alphabet. And it has been crazy. And then here is the star of the show, COVID-19. And COVID-19 is like a star that we have never yet seen. COVID-19 should be a reality TV show. COVID-19, however, brings with it opportunities. So one thing I'd mentioned earlier about Long Story Short and its powerful ability to connect us has had me connected on one of my first occasions with a beautiful soul. Her Instagram handle is Dr. Alien Neal. And she posted something recently that made me think. It said that if you want an easy life, you've got to learn from when life is hard. And COVID-19 has been hard for all of us. Lots of changes, lots of, someone like me who enjoyed school. I was always me, miss, the teacher's pet, everything. I'm not enjoying this. All these lessons that I have to learn, I feel like I want to say, okay, I'm done. I've been through semester 1, 2, I've taken the exam, and I'm finished. So here are some things that I have learned from COVID-19 and the year 2020. 1, every single person on the planet is connected. We are connected. Because I remember in the course of my work, reading from my news copy, oh, COVID-19 virus in China, them over there. Never dreaming that in a few short months, I would have a bigger mask collection than a lipstick connection. I never dreamt that I would have struggled through all the changes, all the different curfews, all the different hours. And I never dreamt that I would lose 3 people in as many days. But that happened to me in late August and early September. And I'd mentioned before, working through and processing life with PTSD and as a trauma survivor. And guess what? I'd mentioned earlier in a previous long story short episode that living with PTSD is like riding a dragon. Well, guess what? I fell off. Terribly. I think I was riding upside down for a little bit. And it's hard because in my line of work, we're essential workers, so we have to show up every day. Come rain, come shine, come hurricane. I have been at work through 1 or 2. And you have to perform. And when you mess up in front of everyone, their mother, grandmother, and the entire listenership. And I've had some interesting days. But that brings me to lesson number 2. Lesson number 2 is the fact that all of us have a part to play in each other's story. And I have benefited from and appreciated the connection from really great people in my life. People who have been deeply supportive. People who have responded when I've said, I'm having a bad day, please pray. People who have supported me, come hell or high water or COVID-19. I've also learned that we have choices in life. So when I had that loss, and 2 of these losses were literally a day apart. I lost a friend unexpectedly, Saturday, lost a former schoolmate on Sunday. And I was hit from one direction to another. And I thought, oh my goodness, what is this? But it made me grateful. It taught me that we think that life is long and that we have all this time to do all these things, and we don't. Neither of those 2 people knew that they were not going to make it through another month. So it taught me to treasure the time that I have, the people that I have. And it also taught me that I have immense personal power. So yes, I'm saying that in 2020. The truth is that life has been hitting you with one thing, with another thing, with another thing, and you don't have any control over what throws at you or what connects with you, but you do have control over your response. So I have been choosing day by day, sometimes minute by minute, to choose to be grateful for certain things, to think through, okay, so maybe I'm having a bad day, but I am alive. I can walk properly. Remember the time of that particular virus that had us all bent over. It was not Zika, but chickpea. And we learned the joys of pain-free locomotion after. Well, you can be grateful for that. You can be grateful for the people who are strongly supporting you. You can be grateful for the fact that you are alive and COVID negative for those who are, because that's one test that you do want to fail. So, long story short, life is precious, life is short, and you can choose to choose joy.
Is brought to you by Finance Hub Jamaica. We connect you with the right people.
This next storyteller, the last time we saw him, thought-provoking comes to mind, to say the least. Now, this is a gentleman whose father was a drug dealer. His mother was a drug addict. He himself incarcerated for 5 years. Saying that alone tell him up stories for days, right? We definitely can't wait to hear from him now. Now, this is a gentleman who also gained a little popularity when it came on to, Drake's Netflix-produced Top Boy. Y'all know, you know what I'm talking about. So, actor, poet, rapper, let me tell you something. Let's just get right to Scantana.
Yo, it's your boy Scantana, the man with the most grammar, master storyteller. Well, it was 2007, I entered the Tasty Talent Trail, and Amina Blackwood Meeks, who is a master storyteller, she was one of the judges. And I actually didn't place, but Amina decided that I needed to go to school because my storytelling ability was master. You know, it's funny that you asked that, because I stumbled upon Long Story Short. And just upon watching a few of the other episodes and seeing the tellers, I was realizing that it was a space built for creatives as well as non-creatives, because everyone has a story.
You get what I say? So when you can listen to someone who is not an entertainer tell you an engaging story that's captivating, it's a wonderful space to go and network and meet people and just be inspired by other people's lives. Well, my message to Long Story Short will be the same message that I give to every up-and-coming person that's trying. It takes 10 years to become an overnight success. So if you quit in your 9th year, you'll never make it. And I see Long Story Short going somewhere. You know, you just have to keep reinventing the event. You know, there's many ways to tell stories. So if you can tap into these people that want to share their stories and keep finding creative ways to assist them to tell, Long Story Short will be here for a long time. I grew up in a home that was reared by a drug dealer father and a drug addict mother. So me was like the little savage in between, you know, where me that one night me should be an addict or me for be a seller. You get what I say? Like, no, it real. You might laugh and think it's a joke, but it is real. Long story short, Corona. It's been such a bittersweet situation. I know that some of us has been experiencing this Corona and quarantine thing, and you know, we lose with jobs and you know, we lose family members and things like that, but it has been bittersweet for some of us. Because my story in this Corona is, I remember when I was 17 years old and I was with this girl by the name of Rashandia Jeffers, amazing young lady. You know, she's just a year younger than me. And at the last Long Story Short, I don't know if some of my viewers remember, I told you about getting incarcerated. So before I got incarcerated, it was this young lady's house that the officers went to her house with pictures of me to ask her and her parents, did they know me? And believe it or not, her parents wouldn't have recognized me in the photo, but she knew our man. She knew our man. So when she saw the picture, it was like, but to take everything in her face, kind of keep that straight face there and then kind of, you know, squint and look at the picture and say, no, I never saw this person before in my life. And what she told me after the fact was that that night she went back to her room and bawl out her item, like bawl out her item to swell. So she called me and she said, Scantana, if you did something, would you tell me about it? And I was like, yeah, but for some reason they kind of know what she did call me about. And she said, were you involved with a robbery or something like that? And I said, no. She said, well, the police them come to my house with pictures of you. I said, you sure see me? And she said, yeah, I know you. I said, no, maybe it was my brother or something. Them time my heart a beat fast, me I tell you. Anyway, long story short, me not get locked up, it was me. And me I write her. Me I write her, she not write me back. Me I write her, she not write me back. Me I write her, she not write me back till me get frustrated, me end up upstate now, serving time, and me realize say, me lose this girl. Mind you, you know, the love of my life, you know. Boom, me do my 5 years, me get deported. Do what me I do up and down in Jamaica with this person, with that person. And Corona happens. So me in a Corona now one night, I'm there woman, you know, Black Lives Matter just go viral. So me I get the interviews from here, on stage interview, I got the morning time interview, you know, long story short, call me like Scantana, we need you. So I'm like, all right, things is happening for me, I'm feeling good. One night I go on my bed and I wake up, mind you, you know, I'm searching for this girl from the time me leave to present date because I'm punching her name Rashandia, but I'm spelling the name wrong. Her name is Rushandia, R-O-S-H-U-N-D-I-A. I'm spelling it Rushandia, R-U-S-H-A-N-D-I-A. So I'm not finding her nowhere on social media. Boom, I kinda write it off. One night I wake up, check my phone as usual, I see a message. You know, you get the request. I mean, I say, which request this now? Go on my phone. Where my phone then? Take out my phone, I mean, I say. Hello, I am so proud of you, Magabi. I just want to tell you that, you know, you make me so proud. I don't know if you remember me. This is Rashandia. Me nearly dropped the phone. You had me really drop the phone, but you know, something like that. And it was a shock because I'm like, this is 22 years later. This girl when me I look for, come find me and just slide in my DM like say, you know, I'm bugging. So I'm like, of course I remember you text her back excited, yo, watch this on my number. And she I go call me pam voice call. You know what I do, right? Hang up and then call her pam video call. Y'all might think it's a joke, so I'm just showing you that. It's real, it's really real. So she called me pam voice call. I'm hang up the call. I'ma call her pam video call. Like, I have to see her. I couldn't listen to your voice alone. And she don't even know that I was really gonna call her for the show. So I'm gonna turn her to the camera right now. This is her. This is her. Say hi to Long Story Short, baby. Say hi to Long Story Short. I just told them that after 22 years, you found me. And we're back together. And she's gonna be sharing my last name, y'all. Let me come a little bit closer to the camera. This is her, everybody. Hello. This is my baby. Rashundia Jeffers, soon to be a Lawrence. I love you, baby, you heard? So we letting them know that Corona wasn't always a bad thing for everybody. It was a little bittersweet. I love you, you heard? Later. So long story short, after 22 years of walking out of this girl's life to go serve time for foolishness as a youth, she walked right back into my life to come claim the love of her life. Thank you, Corona.
You know the saying, all good things must come to a... Wait, hold up a second. We actually have a special surprise. And we're going to be literally surprising the person. We're going to be giving away our inaugural Griot of the Year award. Now, we're going to tell you what Griot is, so don't move. But we are actually going to be bum rushing the winner of our inaugural Griot of the Year award.
Let's see what's in there. Huh? Show to the man that try to surprise the man.
Cantana! Cantana, come here, dog. Chris, just drop them one. Come on, man. All right, man, youth. Let me lift him up now. Yeah, boy, that's the one again, man.
Oh, y'all can't be doing me like that. Y'all call me with the mad surprise, like.
All right, Scantana, you never know, but we had a prize for the Griot of the Year. You know what a Griot is?
No.
A storyteller.
Wow, I'm learning.
So this is the first prize. This is the first Griot of the Year award.
Yo, look, I got it. Oh man, look, I didn't even have a speech prepared. Y'all could, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy Santana, the man, the most I'm out to say long story short. Tell your story. Everyone has a story that needs to be told. Don't be afraid to tell it. You know what I mean? Because people want to hear it. People want to see you and people want to know you. Long story short.
And we have giveaways from Totally Male Spa. Totally Male Spa.
Oh, yo, y'all see this right here, look. Y'all see this right here?
And we have from Meatbox, Jamaica. Deliver meat from here. And we have another giveaway from the Finance Hub Limited, Finance Hub Jamaica Limited.
Oh wow, yo, I'm taken aback right now.
Everybody has a story. What's yours?
Yeah, man.
Let's put it here.
Yeah, man. DMG is the man with the most grammar.
Go darker with the 2020.
Hope you enjoyed the experience as much as we enjoyed sharing it with you. Remember, keep following us. IG, Facebook, and YouTube. Long story short, Jamaica. We'll have to big up our sponsors. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And speaking of appreciating people, if you enjoy the movement, you know, you can support the thing. You can donate to our Patreon account. Everybody has a story. What's yours?
Action.
What? Oh. The sun just keeps baking and baking and baking.
Yeah. Do I twerk again? Do another twerk again?